everybody, welcome to another video. Doing kind of a late one this weekend. Usually don't record on this late on a weekend, but it's Sunday evening after dinner, and I just wanted to get this one because I don't have a video recorded for tomorrow. And again, it's been 2 weeks since my last weekend haul, my shopping trip, and we went shopping again this weekend. So I got a few items that I want to share with you here. Before I say that, though, just to let people know, this is coming up. I was at the Electric Kitchen, my local record shop. They have these in various places. These little cards that go out. So the next Bay City Record Convention is going to be May 11th on a Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at the Knights of Columbus Hall. It's over on South River Road. No, wait a minute. You know what? I just noticed that. That's not the same. That's the Knights of Columbus Hall. That's not the same place as it was last time. Huh. New location. See map on back. So it is out River Road. It's just past the, there's an airport out there. I can't remember what the airport's name is, but if you're going out of Bay City towards I-75, towards the Zilwaukee Bridge, the Ziliwake, you'll come across this little airport on River Road that goes out there. And, it's right out just past there. Huh. I didn't realize it's at a new location. Is it going to be the main new location? I don't know. It's nothing wrong with the old place, but the old place is literally within walking distance. Now it's not. So I guess definitely got to make sure I have a lift set up for that one. I think my son will be with me probably, and we'll go to that. That's cool. I like these I love small little Knights of Columbus Hall comic shows, record collections. I love these small, kind of more intimate, kind of old school little shows, because it's not just packed down. There's no celebrities there. There's no people, for the most part, in cosplay costumes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's about, like, if you go to a comic book convention, it's about comic books. Or at least things that are very closely related. I mean, sure, maybe some toys, whatnot, but even that, it's nice when you used to go back to the sports cards and comics, where that's what you went to get, was comic books or sports cards. You weren't expecting to find. You might find the occasional toy or whatnot, a poster, but for the most part, it's just about getting the comics. And same with the record collection. I mean, you're there to buy records. You're there to buy old used records from a bunch of dealers. So that's good, because I'm still looking for some stuff. I did pick up a few records this weekend too. Two of them I wasn't necessarily looking for right away, but when they showed up, I was like, holy shit, I gotta grab those. And then, of course, I stopped by Cashman's Comics and checked to see what's in my box. And I had two facsimile comics in there, so I'll show you what I got there. Sorry. I also told him to start pulling for the limited edition for the X-Men 97 comic. I want to get that. But, I didn't see. I saw the Spider-Woman comic I had. I was going to look for the back issues, but then I decided, I'm not going to go back and get the back issues. Like I said, the whole point of me getting a subscription is I wanted to start with January this month and just go to start with 12 months, of comic, and read those 12 months of comics. That's the whole point. And see if, I'm enjoying it and whether I would want to continue to do so. So it's just more like a little experiment too. But let's get into the stuff I got. I already ticked the albums off my library, but I'll show you the library, record library as it's growing here. Let's cover the comics first. That's what I purchased first. So in my box I had issue 3, the facsimile issue of Secret Wars. So that it's on par. This is that's a 12-issue limited series. It started well, I mean, it's from 1984, but I mean, it restarted, the facsimile started in January with number 1. So I got number 1, we've got February, we had number 2, March, we got number 3, so it'll follow, December will be the 12th issue, so that's all in order. That's pretty slick. Again, I'm not going to pull these out. I already read through them. There's a few ads and stuff in it, just like there always is, and it's pretty close facsimile to the original thing. So glad I picked that one up. That one will go in the Secret Wars box. I don't get a lot of DC comics. I got the Wonder Woman number 1, the 1987 George Perez, and I got the Perez all new Teen Titans number 1, or not all new, whatever it's called, the new Teen Titans number 1 from, I think, 83, 4? I can't remember exactly what the year was on that one. 84, I think. But, so I wasn't looking for too many DC comics, but I did grab the Batman. This is Detective Comics number 411. And of course, the reason I picked it up mainly, I mean, not just because it's a, I will open this one up and show you. It's not just because it's a Neal Adams comic, but because also it's one of the Dark Knights with Batgirl in it. And I always love the Batgirl feet, just like on the Adam West show. I love the Batgirl features that would show up at the end. Actually, the art's not Neal Adams in this. It's Bob Brown and Dick Giordano, or however you pronounce his name. One thing that's to notice about the DC, I don't know if I pointed this out before, but the DC ones are printed on what appears to be Hudson paper, which is a premium format paper, but it's not the magazine. Like this one's printed, like the cover and the interior pages are all in on cover stock, which is like mostly what a lot of comics are nowadays. But these ones are more like a classic, like late 80s comic with Hudson paper, especially DC. It's great. I mean, it's been digitally recolored, and the colors are amazing. But it is that different. It is that older style paper, which is, I don't know how to go on this. I mean, I just want the clarity more so. I don't really care about the paper so much, but the paper does feel thicker with the other ones. This one is more like a classic comic, and gotta smell it, of course. One thing I did notice, though, in reading through this one, is when I got to the end, when the Batgirl feature starts up, like I said, I've seen some of these, like, old scanned-in ones online, but I think that her blue and her gray look a little dark. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does that look a little dark to you? Or like the wrong blue? I don't know, it does for me a little bit. Or maybe, because it's, I don't know what color they originally used on the, in the digital recolors, but it should translate pretty well. But yeah, her costume looks very dark. I guess Batman's kind of looks pretty dark on the cover as well, although his blue looks, maybe because of all the black. I guess it's the same blue. No, it's not the same blue. Yeah, if you notice in these two pages, that's Batman's cape there. And then if you notice Wonder Woman on the other side, let it focus there for a second, that's a slightly darker blue. It's a different Pantone, as they call it. So that's kind of interesting to note. So that is something different on the DC ones, and I don't know if it's better or worse. It's just different. I'm going to say probably I would prefer the way Marvel's doing it more, but again, this is more like a classic comic, and obviously they didn't print like this back in number 411. I mean, they didn't use Hudson paper back then. They're on newsprint, so it's still superior to the original as far as the quality. I don't know. It's hard to tell on that. So, like I said, I'm not picking up a lot of the DC ones, but just here and there. And I want the first appearance of Batgirl, but that one's kind of hard to find. I'd have to probably get that one online. But that's what's there. I know the Wolverine, the 89 Wolverine series is starting up is coming out next week, and I believe There's one more. Oh, and one of the other Spider-Man for March is coming out. And then after that, start fresh. And I believe next month we're getting an X-Men, the first appearance of Dazzler in the X-Men comic. I can't remember what the number was. It's during the Dark Phoenix, right around that era. But I'll be getting that one. I did get it's out in the other room, but I did get the preview guide, for March, the stuff that ships in May, and it has they do have the facsimile of that Rob Liefeld New Mutants issue. I think the first appearance of Deadpool. I do not care to get that. I don't want that. But they do have, of course, the Secret Wars, of course, the Spider-Man. What is the X-Men? There's an X. You know what? Let me pause you just for a second. I want to go grab it real quick. Are we rolling? Yeah, we're rolling in. Okay. So I got the first 3 of these. Like I said, number 28 of the Marvel preview, the free previews. These are free. You can get these at the counter, and they had a whole stack of these. So I was wondering if I was going to be able to get one, but he had a stack, like a big stack. So I was going to say, just put one of these in my box every month. I still may, have them do that, but I mean, I think it's fine. I think I go in every 2 weeks. I'm sure I'll get a copy of it. But yeah, issue 28 was January for March, so that's the stuff that's shipping now. We've got 29, which is February for April, so it's shipping next month. So let's check out first what's shipping next month as far as the facsimiles. I'll go to the right here. That's the Dazzler. So the Dazzler issue, which is X-Men 130. So right after at 129, the first appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, we get the first appearance of Dazzler. So you get 3 new female characters in X-Men, like bam, and needed, because I mean, really the only female character was Storm. I love Storm, but what I always thought was great about the X-Men, especially as I got older into my teens, was all the female characters. And we really only had Jean Grey and Storm. And at this time, this is after the Rise of Phoenix, and this is, just before the Dark Phoenix is going to start. So, Jean's kind of, everything's going on with her at the time. So we get some of these more female characters to kind of anchor the stuff with, obviously Emma Frost being part of the Hellfire Club, she's a villain at the time. But you get Kitty Pryde, and then you get Dazzler, who Dazzler doesn't actually stay as a full-fledged member. But they start introducing more, and of course Dazzler gets her own series, and she becomes really popular. But yeah, we get Amazing Spider-Man 255 and Secret Wars number 4. So that's next month, and then this is March for May, and we're getting where is it? Well, first of all, there's that New Mutants issue. What was it, number 898? I guess it's like a second or third printing. They facsimiled that one before. I don't care to get it. It's interesting though. I read an article that Rob Liefeld will not sign that comic, the facsimile, and it's funny. Well, I guess a lot of these comic artists won't sign the facsimile comics. It's interesting. I don't care because I'm not going to have them sign it. But it's just interesting that that's the case. It's their prerogative, but I just find it weird. That was what it was. So, we've got Secret Wars number 5. We get Amazing Spider-Man number 256, and then we get. I had him pull this one because I told him, I said anything. I think I told him any Marvel facsimile, so maybe he'll put the New Mutants in there, maybe not. Hopefully, but he's definitely putting in the Secret Wars. Spider-Man and anything X-Men, but I didn't say anything about the Avengers, so I did have them pull this when it comes out. This, of course, is Avengers Annual 10. This is the issue where what's-her-face, Rogue ends up getting her powers from by absorbing them from Carol Danvers. So that happens in that issue. So it's kind of a key issue to that, so that'd be nice to have. The other thing I noticed, though, when I looked at the back, so in the back of this book, They usually have like the graphic novels, the omnibuses, stuff that's coming out. I'm not overly interested in getting the Godzilla omnibus from the original Marvel years, but I don't know if I'm going to get this. But I'm on, because this is expensive. But they have, and apparently number one's out, and I didn't realize number one's out already. So, is they have the Micronauts Volume 2, which reprints number 30 through 54. Now I want to see the Omnibus 1, because for the longest time for Micronauts, they reprinted the first 6 issues or the first 12 issues, or they did reprints with new color or touched up color. But all of the other stuff has always been the original newsprint stuff, and they never really reprinted at all the Micronauts stuff. And we're getting deep into the Micronauts line with the omnibuses, and they're reprinting it all and redoing all the color. I really want to see that. As you know, we've seen my video. I have the artist edition, the Michael Golden artist edition, which got all the black and white stuff real crisp and clear. But I want to see the color crisp and clear. So I know it's $125. I don't think I'm going to buy these, but if I can somehow find these at least like under $100 a piece, I might consider getting them. It's pricey for me, but regardless of buying them or not, I really want to see them. I really want to look at them and read through them and see those pages crisp and clear with new color. I'd love to see that, and in order, because even the artist edition, there's a lot of missing pages, and that only goes up to, I think, issue like 15 or 13. So I'm interested to see that. Everything else, not really, not so much. Speaking of the Spider-Woman, they are coming out with a graphic, a trade that reprints the first 5 issues of that, and then you get a Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Sorry, I had curly fries for dinner. I didn't eat them all, so I ate some curly fries for dinner. And the ketchup and curly fries, it's coming up on me big time. I don't know if I told you, but I do have acid reflux, and I don't take anything prescription, but I just take over-the-counter Zantac, which I don't even take the Zantac, whatever it's called. That's famotidine. Used to be I can't even pronounce it. Now I take famotidine, and not a lot. I'll stay away from omeprazole, which is Prilosec, but yeah, I do take it because I do get a frequent heartburn because I'm overweight, and I don't eat the best. So, but I get bad acid reflux, so I really got to watch what I eat, especially when it comes in the evening, because it'll come up back. I'll be throwing up through my nose in the middle of the night. I might have mentioned that before, but I know it's not a pleasant thing to talk about, but just to let you know, I do suffer from that. Luckily, I have high blood pressure and acid reflux. Outside of that, there's really not a lot wrong with me, so I'm kind of, knock on wood, I don't have a lot of serious, it could be serious, it can get serious, but I don't have a lot of anything super, serious. But yeah, so I don't really pick up a lot of that stuff. Maybe I will start eventually if coming along the lines, but for now, not really. All right, let's stop talking about comics for a minute at the 18-minute marker, and let's switch to records. I bought 3 of them. The first record I want to say I came across was they had a section called Classics, and they had the 2 Go-Go's albums. I wasn't going to get the Go-Go's albums, but they had the Stray Cats album, Built for Speed, which was the compilation from '81, and I really wanted that. And it was like $7, great condition, sleeve, everything, and I pulled it. I was like, I'm going to get this. They'd just been talking about that, and I really want that Stray Cats album. Unfortunately, I had to put it back because I want to stick to my budget. I set a budget for myself. Every 2 weeks, I'll let myself spend $50 when I go out shopping like that. And that's got to cover, maybe $10 to $10, maybe $13, $14 in comic books. And the rest I can blow on records or whatever, an action figure maybe if I saw one we did go to Target and I didn't see anything I wanted. But right now for me it's records and comics. So I went over and I checked the records, saw the Stray Cats, was about to buy it. And then I haven't been there in 2 weeks, and he didn't have a lot last time, but I did pick up those records I did pick up. This time I'm like, huh, they really started to pile up things that he had at pretty decent prices. And the first one was right here, Cheap Trick. This is what's the name of the album? Oh yeah, All Shook Up. I always forget the name of the title of this. This album came out in 1980. This was the one that came out right after Dream Police, and they just finished that tour. It still has Tom Peterson on it. Tom Peterson hasn't left yet, but I gotta listen to it again. I had this record in like 1988, 1989 when I was buying records from Sam's Jams down in Ferndale, and this is one of the ones I picked up, and I had it in my Cheap Trick collection. I pretty much got the same Cheap Trick collection, except I had Busted before, and I don't think I'm gonna get Busted this time. And I had the very first album, plus I had what's the second album? One with I Want You to Want Me on it, where they're on the motorcycles. Heaven Tonight? Not Heaven Tonight, that's the other one. Oh, shit. Correct. I always forget the name of that album. It's okay. The only track I liked on it was that one, but that one's live better at Budokan. But, yeah, this one doesn't have a lot of hits on it. I mean, I'm gonna read you off the track list, and you tell me if anything sounds familiar. So we've got I'm gonna go. I've got to look. I'm gonna show you too. The album. Let's go to All Shook Up and go on to on the Amazon here. Let's look at the playlist. We've got again 1980. 10 songs. We got Stop This Game, Just Got Back, Baby Loves to Rock. It's the only one I can think of was a single on this. Can't Stop It, But I'm Gonna Try. World's Greatest Lover, High Priest of Rhythmic Noise, Love Comes a Tumbling Down. I Love You, Honey, But I Hate Your Friends. I've heard that one before. I've heard all these before, but just that one sticks out. Go for the Throat, Use Your Own Imagination, and Who Da King. So before we do that, let's just go to Cheap Trick real quick, and let's see if they have the singles on here, and what albums were those on. Usually you can find the singles from that album. So, Just Got Back was one of the singles. I just got back. No, that's another song. In Color. Sorry, that was the other album I was trying to think of. Okay, so Just Got Back and Stop This Game, I believe, are the two singles on this, but don't quote me on that. Let's go to singles and just see if that coincides. Oh shit, they don't even have. Okay, I don't even have all the singles on there. All right, I believe that's the case. So I guess I was wrong on what the singles were. So Stop This Game and Just Got Back. So the first two songs are pretty much the two ones on here. If you look at the plays too, 1 million plays on Just Got Back. I'm not going to play these. If you want to hear any of this music, like I said, I'm not going to play it to risk copyright strikes, so it's all right there on YouTube. You're watching me on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and listen to this album for free. It's that simple. I mean, you can pause here now, go listen to these songs or the album or whatever and come back. But, yeah, like I said, this is not one of their more well-known albums, but I do like to have all of the albums that I had before. I said I may or may not get Busted. Hopefully not literally. No, but I mean, I may not get the album Busted after Lap of Luxury. But I'll definitely try to get all the ones up to that. The two ones I want to find the most two that I don't have are Next Position, Please, and One on One. Those are two good ones. Those ones don't have Tom Peterson, but I like those. The Doctor's okay, and there's another one too. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head. Sorry, we'll go back to my my collection here. So I've got All Shook Up there again. There's the record. Great condition. It's got the original sleeve on there. We got it in plastic. I haven't played this one yet. This one is $7.55, and actually gave it to me for $6.40 because I checked the receipt. I don't know why I gave you the discount on this one, but so that's the type. This is what I like to find. I like to find an original pressing, or maybe a second pressing. I like it to be in great shape, but this one's almost in, I would say it's in fine shape. The record's in great, no nicks. It's a very clean record. I haven't played it yet, but it's very clean. And even the sleeve is very clean, with very minimal marks or wrinkles or anything on it. And in plastic for less than $10. That's how I like to find a record. To me, that's a find. And for the most part, all of these, with the exception of one, was just a hair over that. I pretty much scored the same thing. Next one, I wasn't expecting to find too much in the Kiss, because his Kiss bin has been empty for a pretty long time, except for a couple of the reissues that I already have, meaning the Ace Frehley and the Rock and Roll Over. And this one is very hard to find. And so they had double platinum. My story with double platinum is this. When this came out in 1978, that's when I became a Kiss fan. I was in kindergarten. We were at Kresge's, and I remember the night. It was that dark and stormy. We were there in the evening. It was getting close to Christmas time, so it was after the change in times, and where I was going past the music section, and actually this wasn't even in the music section. This was up by the registers, and I had what do you call it in my hand, or my mom had it in the cart, the little cart there. She had the Kiss Alive 2, and that was going to be a Christmas present, although I knew I was getting it. And so we got up to the counter, and they had a bunch of records on display, and there was double platinum, and of course the chrome just instantly saw it, and I was like, I go, Mom, they got that album too. She goes, you're only getting one. And I'm like, oh, I want the double platinum though. It was a double record, so it was Kiss Alive 2, and I balked. I wanted Kiss Alive 2, and that's what I ended up getting, but I passed, or I had to pass on this, and I had never seen it again, ever, since 1978, in person. I've seen pictures of it online. I've looked for it on Discogs and not finding a very good deal. And there was one downtown at the antique store, and he had it. It was in terrible shape. And he wanted like $25, $30 for it. Again, it's hard to find. It goes for a lot. I think like a decent copy goes for about $50 online. So Jordan at Electric Kitsch, he had two of them, believe it or not. First one was $18. This one, I took the sticker off, but this one was $4.77. He loves the 77 cents. But anyways, $4.77. And I asked him, I said, without pulling them out, I said, is there a huge difference between two? He's like, oh yeah. He says, yeah, look at the cheap one. He says, it's pretty nicked up. But the thing is, I said right off the bat, just by looking at the two covers, the other cover, they both had ring wear, as you can see on it. And that chrome, that's on there, that silver, that chromized look, really supposed to be platinum. It took a beating on both of them. But the other one had this huge tear here. This corner over here was all smashed up, right? This one, for the most part, is completely intact, with the exception of somebody tried to sell it for $12.50, and they wrote it with Sharpie on the cover. They also wrote it on each disc inside. But that was the only thing, outside of the ring wear, that was the only thing that really marred this cover. And I was like, I don't like that tear on that other one, and I didn't like the corner being all smashed up. I said, this one is in much better condition, the outer sleeve, and I'll pull this one out. So I said, right there, in and of itself, I would just buy it for, even if the record was crap, I would just buy it for the cover, because of the condition, for $5, essentially. Yeah, they wrote it in the back too, $12.50. I would just buy it for the cover just because it's in great shape, and it was a lot better shape than the one down at the antique store. So I said, you know what? I looked at the discs. one of them's on the turntable right now. I'm still listening to it. And again, they wrote $12.50 on it. The discs are dirty. They're not. There's no deep gouges or scratches, but they are scuffy. And the other one was great. I mean, the other one, both discs are very clean. I would say, obviously, I think one thing he could have done is he could have easily. He's not really into doing the online thing, but he could have taken this cover and the other two discs and then putting it up online for like $65, and he probably could have easily got it. I've seen it going for over $200 in very good condition. I would say those discs were in very good. These good discs, I would say, are on acceptable. Maybe good, acceptable to good. They're not terrible. And the reason I say that is because I've already listened to the first disc. When you first drop the needle on side A, you get a little bit of crackle. And the crackle subsides right before the first song kicks in, which I believe is Strutter. You get a little bit of crackle, and then it fades. The crackle fades. No pops, no skips on side A, or first side. Fine, went through fine, perfect. Flipped it. I haven't even washed it yet. I was going to wash it, but I didn't even wash the discs yet. Played second side 2, barely any crackle, no pops, no skips. Disc 1 is perfect as far as playing, not perfect, but I mean it's beyond acceptable. I would say that's good condition. Very good, obviously, would be a little less of the hiss, a little crackle, but there's just a little bit of crackle on the first side. I haven't listened to the second side yet, so cross my fingers on that one. Hopefully that one's good. But I told him, I said, for that price difference, for $4.77 plus tax, I'll take the risk that even if it pops a couple of times or a couple of skips, this is a very hard record to find, and, I wanted it just because it was the record I never got. I didn't get a lot of them, but it was the record specifically that I saw there that I wanted at that time that I never got. So, and it's a great, if you just want to listen to some classic Kiss music and not have to listen to all the discs, just pull this one out. And I'd rather wear these records down even more than, and then instead of listening to some of the other ones, unless I want to listen to studio albums. But I think it's great, and a great acquisition. So I got another Kiss album, and I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, I should have. Let me pop back off here for a minute. Show you that up close. I don't know if you got to see that. So you can see the ring wear. You can see that Sharpie mark on the cover. So, I don't know. For less than $5, for a record that I always see online for well over $50, I'll take it. And of course, you probably saw this when you saw this on there. I got Kiss Alive 1. So Kiss Alive 1, there's the sticker still on there. $14.15. Now, I paid what I paid for Kiss Alive 2 at the last Bay City Record Convention. I think I paid $13. And it doesn't have the insert. It has both of the inside sleeves, the record sleeves, and the jacket, but it didn't have the insert, the little booklet, the souvenir booklet. Which again, I would still like to find a copy that has it on it. But those records played fine. I got this, $14. Cover is in great condition. No ring wear. That's the thing I thought was amazing. Somebody did, which they always do sometimes, but you can't see it as much. Somebody wrote Ewald in some ballpoint pen there on the smoke. But other than that, not much on there. There's the inside, of course. And like I said, I don't have the first 3 albums, so I wasn't planning on getting, but now that I got Kiss Alive 1, I think I'll try to find. I know they just came out with reissue. They have reissues of all 3 of these, and I just don't want to pay the reissue prices. I would rather find used copies of those. I know this one's the 50th anniversary this year, and they've got that one out. Maybe I'll spring for the reissue of that, but probably not. Like I said, I'm not in a big rush to get them. I'll find them when I find them. He has the reissue of this at the Electric Kitsch. I just don't want to pay $27 for it. But I didn't want to. They have a reissue this out too. I didn't want to pay the $40 for this reissue. I'd rather pay, $14. A little bit over $10 is fine with me. But it does have insert one. Sorry, that's not the insert. It's got discs. He put new paper sleeves on it. The original ones just had paper sleeves on it as well. But the records look clean. Pretty nice looking records, I would say. Very good records. But it did have this. It has the insert. Like the other one didn't. And of course the insert's the souvenir insert with the pictures of the band from that tour. You know, some pretty. There's those plumes of fire. You get some photos. I think the staples, the saddles, I could re-saddle staple this because I have a saddle stapler, and I believe it'll stretch that far. I think it goes up to 18 inches. I might re-saddle, stitch this myself, staple, because the staples are completely gone out of it. And I'll staple them right where the original marks were with my saddle stapler, just to kind of keep it back. But it's got the originals. There's Ace. And that's in great condition. I mean, outside of the missing staples. So yeah, so I got Kiss Alive 1. Pretty happy about that. I haven't listened to it yet. I'll give that a listen to. But I wasn't expecting to find it either. So finding 2 Kiss albums for, you know, a total of $24 is pretty nice. And one of them being Alive 1 and double platinum. I mean, that's pretty nice. Like I said, that's a nice score. And that's how I like to find records. I know I keep saying this every time, but I like to find records like this. I mean, I do have reissues. You know, I have probably, out of my 80 records now, or almost 80 records, I have about 10, I think. 8 or 10 reissues. The rest of them are all originals. But this is how I love this. I mean, I love this. I love finding, and I don't mind it. I mean, I don't want it to be super crazy, but I don't mind that. I did pass on 2 Yes albums that I shouldn't, just because they wrote, you know, somebody's initials on it. I should have taken it anyways. But those are also at Electric Kitsch. But like I said, I've had pretty good luck with my local record store, and you know, I like the people that own it. They're good people, and I have no problem giving them business. And he's very good with his records. He puts everything in the nice heavy sleeves. He takes them all out, and he puts them in the back so they don't, you know, increase or start new ring wear. He'll put them in new paper sleeves or rice paper sleeves, depending what he has on hand, to if the records don't have the original sleeves. Even if they do have the original sleeves, sometimes he'll put one on it anyways. Now, he didn't with this one. This one, he left it, but the original sleeve's in such good condition, he just left it in the sleeve. But he did still pull it and put it in the back, and I love that. I mean, and I don't know if he cleans his records. I meant to ask him, but the records, even if they are scuffy, they still look like they've at least had a once-over once. And of course, I'll clean them myself. But yeah, so those are my score. 3 records, Cheap Trick and Kiss. I mean, these are my favorite bands of all time. I know it's funny because all of my favorite bands all seem to have opened up for Kiss. Meaning, you know, of course, Kiss opened up for Blue Oyster Cult in their first, but you got Blue Oyster Cult, right? You got Kiss, you got Cheap Trick, which opened up for Blue Oyster Cult. You've got Rush that opened up for Blue Oyster Cult. Those are my 4 favorite bands of all time. I do love Yes, sure, and I do love the Police. But I think my all-time favorite still, just because I love rock, and I love that 70s sound, and I love the 70s guitar. And like I said, I'm not much of a. You've heard me play if you watch my videos. I'm not a lead guitar player. But I love to play a cool riff and a rhythm, and I like to try to sing along with the songs and stuff. So I like to learn the rhythm guitar, and it's got a cool rockin' riff, and I can try to emulate it with my Les Paul or my Leo James fake Les Paul. I just love that. It just tickles me pink. It's just something I love to do. And I was listening to that Blue Oyster Cult album, and I was like, I gotta learn the red and the black. I keep hearing it, and I love it. That part, I was like, I gotta learn that. So I pulled it up on Songster, played through it a few times, pretty much got the riffs down. Don't have the entire song mapped yet, but I've got the main sections down. Pretty simple. Same thing with Kiss. I even though I have Rock and Roll Over on double platinum, I was listening. They have I Want You's on there, and it's my favorite album, Rock and Roll Over. I was working on Mr. Speed, and I was like, oh, I gotta learn I Want You, and do 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 that. So I learned that too, got that down, and that for the most part I have most of that song together, with the I love that. So got that down. And that's the beauty. That's what I like to do. I love to get these old records and listen to them, and listen to that rock guitar, listen to some Rick Nielsen, some Ace Frehley, some Bloom and Dharma, all those guys, some Paul Stanley, and then try to learn these licks on my guitar and try to emulate that sound. I love that. And it's just one of my favorite things to do in my free time. So it is what it is. So that was this week's haul. Again, like I said, I try to kind of give myself an allowance every 2 weeks, $50. And I didn't even hit $50 this week. I think I spent what I spend? 27 at the record store and 8. Yeah, I spent like $35. I didn't even hit my my allowance. So, and last 2 weeks ago, I think I spent like 44, 45. So it's kind of my ballpark where I like to stand. I mean, I could have got the Stray Cats record, thrown that on there. I could have bought the more expensive version of double platinum, and I could have bought that one too, and then I could have just combined the two and then put the crappy one aside. But I didn't. And I think I would have blown my budget at that time if I bought those two. But anyways, there's that. But I was pretty happy with what I got this time. And now, the next 2 weeks, I'll hopefully have a haul, but I'm not going to be in town. I'm going away for Easter. My sister's coming in town from Arizona, and we're going to go down and spend Easter with my mom while we still can, in the house. And while I'm down there, I'll probably hit my comic book shop, or Comics Corner on the corner. Try to hit that, and maybe I can get to one of the used record stores, maybe Solo Records on Woodward. Somebody wants to drive me over there, but maybe I'll have a haul from there. But if not, I probably won't have a haul next weekend. And up until then, I've got to go crazy, and I got to finish one of the big commissions that I have and get it knocked out before I told them by the end of this month, and I wasn't sure if I was even going out of town for Easter. Now that I know I am, I gotta try to get it done by then, because I want to come back from my Easter break and get on to my next project, because that person's been waiting as well. So it's work mode for me. I'll still make videos. I'm still making them in the afternoon. I need to take a break from working anyways, and I'll make a video, and I'll still post as many videos as I can up until I leave. So it probably won't affect my video posting much. The going out of town, but yeah. So until then, I got some new records to listen to. I got some new comics, yada yada yada. Just speaking of Kiss, though, by the way, I don't know if I showed you this. I put Ace back in his box for now, just till I find a better place for him. I didn't want his hair getting all messed up. It's like I didn't put a rubber band around it or anything. I just kind of stuck it back in there, and then he's in there. But I love the box so much, and I keep him in there for a while. Again, I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to get the rest of them. Next one I get would probably be Gene. I'm seeing the same thing with the solo albums. If I can find the solo albums, I'll buy them. If I can find them used at a good price, I'll buy them. But yeah, it's like, do I want all four solo albums? Sure, but I'm not in a huge hurry to get them. Do I want all four of the Dolls? Sure, but again, not a huge hurry to get them all. Might miss my window, but also they might re-release them again. I don't know, or you can find them on eBay at the same price I got them here. So who knows? We'll find out if I want to keep going with that. But so you just flip you over real quick. I'm just going to show you. So here's the collection so far. There's the new acquisition there, new acquisition, and then new acquisition over here. So I do want to find some more Rush albums. I specifically want to find, I do want the first album. But the first album, Fly By Night, Caress of Steel, 2112. I want those albums, and I want All the World's a Stage, the live album, the one from Massey Hall. So I do want that. I did, by the way, listen to Geddy Lee, the full, like not the bootleg version, but the full version of him and Alex at the My Effin' Life book reading, the one, and they did Massey Hall, just kind of funny. But I listened to that. I watched that, and I thought that was pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun listening to that. But got a couple of Blue Oyster Cult albums I need to get, but not many. Basically, there's 3, but I'll just take 2 over the 3. Mirrors I just don't really care so much about, but I'd like to complete the thing up to ETI Live, which is the last record to feature the original lineup. If I find Revolution by Night, Imaginos, or Club Ninja on for cheap, I'll buy them, but I'm not really looking for them. Again, like I said, I mean, there's records that I could own, but if I really picked all of the records, right, this is 80 records, right? Well, this isn't 80, it's like 75 here. I've got a few extra records that they just don't have on Amazon, but let's just say 75 records, right? I can't think of another 75 records because, I mean, even if I got all the Rush albums, the rest of the Yes albums, the rest of the Cheap Trick, the rest of the Kiss that I want, and the rest of the Blue Oyster Cult. I don't think there's any more soundtrack ones. Maybe the orchestra version of Heavy Metal. I can't think of a lot more that I would want. The first Police album, because I've got everything but the first one. Sure. I've got all the Maiden albums I really want. I can't think of of any more records that I want. So as I said, 75 more records added to this collection. That's it. I mean, I would just be buying things that are just like, oh, I vaguely like that, so I'm going to buy it, I'm not going to get too huge into the budgie collecting. Hawkwind, Tangerine Dream. Those are just so hard to get into. But I mean, that would still be a significant chunk of the 75 more records. So, sorry, I'm beat. So, I had my son all weekend, let her running around, and could only take so much of that. So, I am beat. I'm going to end this video. And remember, I'm going to always ask you if you like and subscribe. If you like the stuff, and again, hit me up on this. Tell me your thoughts on anything. I love to talk about this stuff. And again, this was coming up in May, so I'm gonna end up. Actually, I've got a concert to go to in May 2nd, the Primus show with the guys from Tool. I can't remember what the name of their band is, but I've got that to go to with my son and my friend, and down at Pine Knob. And then this is going to be shortly thereafter. We've got this to go to. So, I've got a few things to kick off the spring with for some fun. So I've got some stuff to look forward to. Got the 4th of July, all that stuff, St. Patty's Day parade today. I wasn't going to go stand out in the cold. Watch. I could care less about the St. Patty's Day parade. All right. Like I said, like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. All right, which I'll record tomorrow, and I don't know what it's going to be yet, so we'll figure it out then. All right, bye-bye.